Hello everybody, Lord Almighty here. Today is Monday, July 27th, 2020, and if you saw my last video, you might remember that I found a rod and reel that had washed up on the banks of the Raritan River, and I took it home with me to see if I could salvage it. Now, the rod is not in the best shape. First of all, it's an ugly stick, which I hate. And a few of the guides looked like they were damaged to the point where they needed replacement. So that's too much of an investment of both time and money for a rod like that. So that one's going in the dumpster. The reel, on the other hand, is a different story. After I opened it up, I found out that aside from being caked in river mud, it was in decent shape. All the parts were intact, nothing was broken, there was no rust, no pitting. So I cleaned all the parts thoroughly, put it back together, put some line on it, and I put it onto a light action pole that I had lying around, and here is the result. After I cleaned it up, I found out that it is a Silver Max 10, which is Abu Garcia's bottom of the line reel. It's essentially a bubble pack reel that you buy from Walmart. But it works, and now really the only test left is to see if it stands up to an evening of fishing. So that's why I'm out here today. There's a fish. That didn't take very long. That was about 30 seconds into my first cast. All right, little bluegill to start things off. So at the very least, this reel can handle bluegill fishing. There we go. Oh, he's off. There we go. Got him out of the exact same spot. This one's putting up a little bit better fight. Oh, no wonder. That's a decent sized bluegill right there. All right. There we go. Another decent sized bluegill. I got a turtle swimming over to check out my float. He's just hanging around. Is that I don't know if that's a turtle playing with the float or if that's a fish. I think it's the turtle. What is he even doing? He's just swimming back and forth underneath it. What a silly creature. Wow, he's just having the time of his life with that thing. Look at him. He's literally just playing with it. God, that's weird. That is so weird. There he is out there, Sam. Little turtle. There we go. That's definitely a fish and not a turtle. Another decent sized bluegill. They all seem to be about the same size. In that 6 to 7 inch range. It's alright, those are a lot of fun on this light tackle. Alright guys, so the bluegill are fun, but they're not much of a test for tackle. So I decided to tie on a popper to see if I could catch something a little bit bigger to maybe put this reel through its paces. I'd really love for there to be a plus-size bass that sucks this thing under. If this reel can pass the screaming drag test, it's a keeper. Well guys, so far so good with this reel. It's certainly not high performance, but at the very least it is performing the way a fishing reel should. Casting distance is okay. It's not the smoothest thing in the world, but I don't think I was able to get every grain of mud out of there either. It does feel like it wobbles ever so slightly, but I think that that's forgivable given that it was being dragged along in the river current on the bottom for an indeterminate amount of time. So all in all, I am very pleased with how this reel has cleaned up. Well guys, that popper was getting more interest from turtles than from fish, so I decided to switch to that summertime savior, the Senko. Maybe this'll get me the bigger fish that I was hoping could really put this reel to the test. Well guys, not even the wacky rigged Senko is making any noise this evening. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to close out the evening by throwing around this little crappie jig. I have seen some fry balls around, so maybe the fish are keyed in on smaller baits. Well everybody, fishing was tough. Aside from a few bluegill on the gulp minnow, which is really kind of a gimme, didn't get any other hits on anything else I threw. But even though the catching wasn't great, today was definitely a success because I found out that this reel that I rescued from the Raritan River works just fine. Again, it's not high performance, it probably never was, but it works well enough to catch fish, and really that's all I care about. So I think the ultimate fate of this rod and reel combo is it is going to go up to my cabin and become a communal rod and reel for anybody to use, especially my 3 young nephews. So take a look guys, this is your new rod and reel. Don't worry about dropping it because it has already survived so much worse. Thank you all so much for joining me, and I will see you on the next adventure.